All right, now that you have your Upwork application template, you have your little CV snippet ready, and you've watched through some examples of applications, our next task is we are going to get a few reps in by doing 5 dry run apps. These are full videos that you are going to record, as if it were a real job. The only difference is you're not going to post these to Upwork. The reason why is because your first 5 are probably going to suck. You're not going to know what you're saying. You're not going to be very good on camera. Your screen share skills are going to blow, something like that, whatever. But the point is we can still just get some reps in. It's not going to cost you any money. It's going to be totally free. You're not going to have to spend $1.50 on every app. We're just going to get those reps in. And then tomorrow, after you've had some time to consolidate this and learn, then we're going to actually start setting real apps and start getting those reps in. So I use Loom for all of my videos. As I'm sure you could tell, I'm recording this video on Loom right now. I find Loom is typically the best platform for this sort of thing because it shows your face, which is very important to a lot of people that do not know who you are. While it also just allows you to like click a button and record. You don't have to do any editing. You don't have to do any big deal or big process. So I personally would recommend that you get Loom. You don't have to do a paid thing. Like I think their free plan still gives you 5 minutes. Maybe that's changed by now. I don't know. But you could theoretically use that timer as like motivation to like try and get your thing done as quickly as possible. I don't know. Personally, I pay $15 a month for it. It's about 50 cents a day, and it is totally worth it for me. I make way more than 50 cents a day on this. I probably make like $500 a day off of Loom. So yeah, as long as you can share links with the client, just pick whatever you want. Okay, so now that we've figured out how to do this, what I want to do is talk about finding jobs. Now, there are a variety of ways you can find a job on Upwork. The ideal is usually using their best matches feature. So let's just open up an Upwork tab and see. See down here, it says best matches. Now, for me, best matches is not the best move because as you can see, most of this is writing jobs, right? But for most of you guys, best matches will be pretty fine, assuming that you put in like automation and ChatGPT and, Claude LLMs and that sort of thing. I do have an alternative here. My alternative is if you can't use that feature, then you can use the search for jobs bar on the homepage, which lets you put in a bunch of filters to like get very granular with the job you want. So this is the search for jobs. I just type in automation usually. Then it'll open up this. Now on the left-hand side here, there are tons of different filters that you could use to like really narrow down the sorts of jobs you want. The first is you could search categories. Personally, I don't. I just use keywords to narrow down my categories. And then I just, I'm fine getting more jobs and then manually filtering them. That's all right. The next is experience level, entry level, intermediate, expert. You'll see that the vast majority of jobs trend to intermediate or expert, and there's basically no entry level. Obviously, when you see a distribution like this, it's bullshit. And a lot of people just like, nobody's going to say they want somebody entry level for their job, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be entry level and apply to it. It just means that this is the distribution that like the clients are pretending like they want. So I don't do any filtering here usually. Now the job type I do. So you need to click both of these, hourly and fixed price. Otherwise you're only going to get one or the other. And then for hourly, this really depends. You can set a filter if you want. I usually do something pretty low, like 15. I don't really want anything that's like $3 an hour because that's obviously looking for a virtual assistant or something. Maybe I even go 20. I don't know. But if you do that, you will lose a lot of pretty good jobs. Like some clients will do this where it's $20 to $110. If you set your minimum at $21, that person is no longer going to be an option there. I don't know why we still got that. I see an X right next, so maybe there's like an error with this or something. But the point that I'm making is you're going to remove a lot of like the jobs that you otherwise could be getting. So personally, I don't set hourly thresholds here. I just sort them all manually. And then for fixed price, right now this is just getting all fixed price jobs. And that's personally how I like to do it too. Fixed price job on Upwork just means somebody tries to put a fixed budget that they say, this job's $2,000, this job's $100, this job's $10,000, something like that. The issue is a lot of clients will use placeholder numbers for this and then ask you to send in a quote. So if you try and filter based off of it being more than a certain amount, you can kind of get yourself into a situation where you don't really have too many jobs. So yeah, I'd be pretty careful with that myself. There's a number of proposals down here, which can be interesting. Maybe you don't want any jobs that have between 20 to 50 because you only want to get the new ones. Maybe you only want to work with your previous clients. Maybe you only want to work with people whose payments are verified. I haven't actually used this myself. A filter that I have used myself is this 1 to 9 and 10 plus hires. So this is how you could filter out people that have never hired anybody on Upwork. If you do 1 to 9 hires, you usually get much higher quality clients, which is quite nice. But obviously weigh that against how many jobs you have. I just use the term automation and I basically instantly eliminated about 20% of them by just clicking this out. So maybe I'm losing some good jobs there in that 20%. Then you have some other filters here too. And then you can sort by relevance, which is Upwork's own feature, newest, client spend, client rating. Then down at the bottom here, you can blow this up from 10 all the way to 50. And this is personally what I would do. Now, what I would do if I were looking for jobs to apply to is I would just, read the title. And if the title is just something I don't do, then I wouldn't really care about it. This seems pretty simple. I'm going to just give that a little click. See if there's any additional info. Nope, that looks good. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold Command and give it a click, and that's going to open up a new tab right over here. And what I'll do is I'm just going to open up like a bunch. So this one looks pretty interesting. I'm not a developer at present, so I don't want to do this. GHL, go high level, that looks good. That looks pretty interesting. I'm going to open that up. That looks pretty interesting. I'm going to open that up. TikTok bot, very cool. As you can see, there's just so many interesting requests here. It's insane. And this is all just in the last 4 or 5 hours, right? Image generator, Twitter comment bot for $1,000. Like, man, so many opportunities on this thing. I love Upwork. Make.com integration with Google Slides, right? It's a $40 budget, so I don't know how worth it this would be for you. Maybe this is enough to, like, I don't know, get you a very simple, get you your first review on the platform. Like, I'd apply to all these regardless. Okay, now I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I do is I just really quickly read through all these, make sure that they are what I think that they are, make sure they're not like total bullshit. And maybe you're left with 5, right? Now, once you have 5 left, all I want you to do is I just want you to go from the top to the bottom and then record a video talking about it. It's about as simple as that. Use the exact same approach that I've showed you guys in those example videos. I'm going to attach them down here below just for your convenience. Now, that is the manual approach. I talk about it being $20 an hour, but as I just showed you, you can eliminate some of the jobs that would otherwise be in your pool if you do that. My recommended filters are $20 an hour because my Upwork profile is very strong, and so I can kind of afford to work with people that are only willing to pay large amounts of money. In your case, you probably don't want to do that. But anyway, it's best to keep your search pool as general as possible so it never becomes a bottleneck. Now, I want to talk a little bit about automated methods. In the past, you could take advantage of an RSS feed feature. This RSS feed feature lets you aggregate jobs from Upwork and then pump them into an Airtable or a Google Sheet. The benefit to that was now you have your own information, you have your own data. So now you have like a Google Sheet. Well, if you have a Google Sheet, if you know automation, you can do tons of cool shit with that. You can pump that into AI, have it pre-write some of your application for you, have it customize stuff, right? Do tons of work for you. Today, if you want to achieve similar functionality in Upwork, you have to build a custom web scraper. I checked their terms and conditions. From what I can tell, this is like explicitly against their TOC, and it runs the risk of negative account action. So it is impossible for me to explicitly recommend this. I can't explicitly recommend this. I did not need anything of that sort to get my first dozen or so customers in Upwork. You definitely don't either, although I think that the benefit of like a fully automated system is obviously like it's pretty clear. A simple way to do this myself would be to just bookmark this page and then just do the same thing that I did every morning when I apply to my jobs. The task that you're going to be doing repeatedly over the course of the next week is you're going to be sending 10 applications a day. So in order to do this in a very efficient method, if you bookmark the page, you wake up in the morning, this is one of the most important things you do. So you click that button, you open up 10 tabs just like I did, you record a video for every single one, you send it, and then you're off to the races. All right, cool. So it's time to shine. Let's find 5 jobs you'd like to apply to. I just did. You're not actually going to be submitting your applications, but I want you to pretend that you are. So head to the proposal page. That just means once you have all of these, click apply now, apply now, apply now, apply now, apply now. Get to the actual page. This is the exact same page you're going to use when you actually apply to the job. And then what I want you to do is I want you to pretend that this is a real job that you're actually applying to. If you make a mistake, that's okay. Don't stop the video. Just keep going. I make mistakes all the time, as you can tell in the Loom videos that I've recorded for this program already. Just continue talking. I use the structure that we built yesterday and the examples that you've seen me do. When you're done, just do that for every single job that you open. The benefit to this is you will have ironed out so many of your initial mistakes in application number 5 compared to application number 1. It's crazy. If you just get in front of a camera and just talk for like 10 minutes or so about something that you are somewhat passionate about, the rate at which you grow and improve is just, most people wouldn't believe it, to be completely honest. And I don't know if you will be able to too. Once you're done this, do something really cool for me and just compare the last video to the first video, see your flow, see how you talked about it, and just compare kind of what your body was doing, what your eyes were doing, how you looked, how charitable or personable you were. And I think you'll already see a big difference. What I want you to consider is Man, if that's how much better I get after 5, how much better would I get after 100? Because you're going to do well over 100 in the coming weeks. All right. Hope that makes sense. Get out there, crush it, and show me what you got. Looking forward to seeing it.